In the top stories, Prime Minister Drew arrives in St. Vincent and the Grenadines for OECS meeting. Murders down by 44% in Jamaica, JCF data shows, and UN warns of looming famine in Sudan, Gaza, and 3 other global hunger spots. Welcome to the ZIZ Midday newscast. Today is Tuesday, 17th June 2025. I am Jasmine Thomas. Prime Minister of St. Christopher and Nevis, the Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, along with a high-level delegation, arrived in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Monday night for the 77th meeting of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS Authority. The meeting brings together heads of government from across the OECS region to discuss a range of pressing issues affecting member states. While there, Prime Minister Drew is expected to engage in bilateral and multilateral discussions, advancing the Federation's priorities within the framework of the Sustainable Island State Agenda. The government of St. Christopher and Nevis remains committed to deepening its role with the OECS and strengthening ties with its regional partners to deliver greater opportunities, resilience, and prosperity for all citizens. St. Kitts and Nevis was among state parties participating in the 18th Conference of State Parties to the Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which was held at the United Nations headquarters in New York from June 10 to 12, 2025. The Federation was represented by the permanent representative to the United Nations, Her Excellency Dr. Mutrice Williams, and Councillor Mrs. Sonia Boddy Thompson. According to Her Excellency Dr. Mutrice Williams, a lifelong advocate for persons with disabilities, it was of paramount importance that St. Christopher and Nevis be represented at this important conference, especially at a time when the government is placing greater priority on empowering persons living with disabilities. This while strengthening the protection of their human rights and fostering new avenues for their productive inclusion in our society through new and improved social policy initiatives such as trainings and the creation of jobs for those living with disabilities. Ambassador Williams further noted the Federation's recent accession to the Inter-American Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination against Persons with Disabilities is further evidence of the government's firm commitment to improving the lives of persons living with disabilities. The Nevis Island Administration NIA continues its strategic investment in road infrastructure with 2 major road construction projects currently underway in the Pinnes and Brown Pasture areas. Executed by the Public Works Department, PWD, these upgrades are of a broader government initiative to enhance safety, improve access, and ensure the long-term durability of Nevis's transportation network. The Honorable Spencer Brand, Minister of Works, recently visited both project sites along with Director of Public Works, Javon Williams, and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Works, Denzel Stanley, to inspect their progress. In Pinnes, work is ongoing near the bridge near the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park and the TDC Building and Hardware Department. Director Williams explained that the initial phase included clearing along the island main road, with the scope extending beyond the basic resurfacing. Permanent Secretary Stanley emphasized that public safety remains a key priority. In Brown Pasture along the Morgan Estate Road, major reconstruction work is underway to address damage caused during previous infrastructure installations. Premier the Honorable Mark Brantley praised Minister Brand and his team for the progress being made and reiterated the administration's commitment to strengthening infrastructure across the island. He noted that Nevis's road network remained intact during recent episodes of heavy rainfall with no significant flooding reported. He attributed this resilience to the administration's substantial investments in proper drainage systems and routine cleaning of guts which helped to safeguard the public even during periods of intense weather. And now for news on the regional scene. Murders across Jamaica have dropped by more than 44% in the first half of 2025, according to new statistics from the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, marking one of the most significant declines in homicides in recent years. Between January 1 and June 14, police recorded 303 murders compared to 543 during the same period in 2024, a reduction of 240 cases or 44.2%. The data was released by the JCF on its website over the weekend. Other serious crimes also fell during the reporting period, including shootings, which declined by 32.5% from 492 to 332 incidents, and rapes, which dropped by nearly 33% from 204 to 137. Overall, the country recorded a total of 1,606 serious crimes, down from 1,977 in the same period last year, an 18.8% decrease. While the downward trend in violent crimes may signal the effectiveness of anti-gang operations and intelligence-driven policing, other categories saw increases. Reports of break-ins rose by 21%, moving from 421 to 509 cases, while robberies went up slightly from 317 to 325 incidents. Internationally, the United Nations World Food Programme, WFP, has warned of increasing hunger in 13 hotspots around the world, with 5 of them facing an immediate risk of starvation and death in the coming months. A latest hunger hotspots report released Monday by the WFP and the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, warns that urgent humanitarian action is needed. It adds that there must be a coordinated international effort to de-escalate conflict, stem displacement, and mount an urgent full-scale aid response. The WFP's Director of Food Security and Nutrition Analyst, Jean Martin Bauer, says conflict is the main driver of crisis. And now for the weather. Present weather is fair. Winds are moderate from the northeast at 13 miles per hour. Seas are 1.2 to 1.8 meters or 4 to 6 feet. Small craft operators are asked to exercise caution. The weather forecast for today predicts partly sunny and hazy skies in general, with a 20% or a slight chance of brief showers. Tonight will be fair to partly cloudy and hazy in general. Sunset today will be at 6:46 p.m. Sunrise tomorrow will be at about 5:37 in the morning. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. Grace be to you and peace be multiplied.